What's good, Internet? I'll be your host tonight. Thank you for joining us here on Cocktails and Curveballs. My name is Patrick. We got the other three wise men here. We got Ty, Lee, and Jim. In usual fashion, I want to kick this off by thanking our all the men and women in our armed forces that fight for our freedoms. They're out there doing God's work. So thank you for that and defending all the freedoms we all enjoy every single day. I also want to say thank you, a big shout out to our first responders. The world doesn't move without you guys, so hats off to you. Gentlemen, we had a really nice Super Bowl. Good game. A lot of different looks on what we thought we were going to get, but it turned out to be a really good game. Before we get into that, I just kind of wanted to get your guys' opinion. What was everybody? I know Jim, you said you grilled on Sunday. What was everybody eating on Sunday? Did everybody just kind of finger food, or did we cook up a big meal? What happened?
Oh man, I went all out. We did ribs and chicken and grilled in 31-degree temperatures
Nice.
and yeah, it was cold as shit, but a lot of fun. Had the mountains were blue to keep me warm. Uh,
Attaboy. How about
so
you, Lee?
Hey man, when the beers are flowing, it don't matter how cold it is outside, Jimmy. You can roll with that shit and you're fine. No, I actually, man, it was one of those weird things, man. So you go like shopping for like your smorgasbord that you want to have for Super Bowl Sunday.
Sure.
Well, the first thought was a taco bar, and then got all that stuff
Oh, can't go
and
wrong with a
cooked all
taco
of
bar,
that.
right?
Oh, hell no.
Right.
Then, you're thinking, okay, so I got to have some carne asada, so I'm going to need some steak, so I can cut that up and cook that with all of the other stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's great. And then you're walking with your fiance, as everyone knows I have. And well, hey, look, pizza. We might want to have some. I'm like, dude, it was insane. It was everything from a Mexican smorgasbord to steak to freaking pizza and
That's the
like
best, though, right?
9,000 bags of chips, bro. Like, we didn't want to miss a potential chip that we might want to eat watching some of these Super Bowl commercials, which, oh, by the way, I hope we get into those because there was some of them that were awesome this year. But no, man, it should be like Jimmy did. Like, okay, so all right, so we're gonna have some ribs, we're gonna have some chicken, we're gonna do that. Oh no, this was everything that I could put in the cart and physically push it to the register. I made it all. And it was great, by the way. It was fantastic.
What was Team Ty eating on Super Bowl Sunday?
We went full blown nacho bar.
That a
Nice.
kid.
Yeah,
Oh
Dig
man,
it.
yeah,
that's what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
But we did barbecue chicken nachos. We just put
Oh
them
wow.
out on the counter. Basically, we just put
Oh,
aluminum foil down, all of it on the counter. It was uh, it was great. Yeah,
had the
from from
queso
from what I got.
you had
Oh,
the
all of
queso
it,
cheese. Oh,
all of
nice.
it. Yeah,
You
anything,
know,
anything, and everything, anything you could have wanted for the size of party I had, it was there.
that's the best, and it's because I think I speak for a lot of people. This is how it was in my house. I just I did up a crock of chili. I make really good chili. Everybody knows me.
Oh, by the way, I will give Patrick some mad props on his chili because I have actually tasted his chili and it is bomb ass shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I made a big crock of chili, and I just had a bunch of finger food, man. Had some burritos that I mean, frozen burritos because I'm not a chef, okay? But I put in a casserole dish and dumped the enchilada sauce on them. Put them in the air fryer for got them all nice and brown and crispy. Had just chips and queso, and I had some jalapeno dip, and just I feel like one of the best parts of Super Bowl Sunday is just grazing, man. Just like you said,
Oh
Ty, just
yeah.
making all this food and just getting a bite to eat, and then halftime you got to go and get another plate, maybe grab
Yeah.
another beer, and you just spend the night grazing, man. I mean, I feel like if there's a pie
Finger
chart somewhere,
finger foods are the way to do it. When
absolutely,
because
I feel like there's
grazing is an awesome term because like
absolutely
that is how
that's
I
that's
felt like
that's
I was doing yesterday. I was just
That's
walking
what it went
around
down
like,
in my house. That's what it went down in my house. And I feel like there's a pie chart somewhere that proves the fact that just as many people put on as much weight over Super Bowl Sunday, than the holidays. I feel like that's
Well,
Well,
the
hey,
holidays.
that's why I bought as much as I did, because the eating didn't stop.
Yeah.
You need to
Yeah.
make
How
sure
about-
that through ever the course of the 7 hours or whatever that you're participating in all this, that you have something that you want to eat. It was that.
Absolutely.
How wild do you guys think Las Vegas was this last week?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
fuck, man.
And
I would have loved to have
tickets
been
were
there.
tickets were insane, right? Like
Yeah, it was
supply and demand, right? Like tickets were insane, but you could have got to Vegas. We've all talked about, you know what I mean? Like we've done this before about how inexpensive it is to get to Vegas. It's all the shit
Absolutely.
while you're there that's expensive,
Right.
but like
right.
to get
See
there.
and the thing about Vegas, and I know this because I lived in Kingman for 4 years, which is Kingman, Arizona is about an hour from Vegas. Actually, it's even probably less time to get there now because they've built that overpass. You don't have to go down through Hoover Dam. But I still remember a time in Vegas where you still had the $9.99 buffets where they didn't nickel and dime you to death. And now, Vegas charges you for everything. There's no more $9.99 buffets. Those are way more expensive. But be that as it may, there's only one Vegas. And
That
what's
shit left with COVID. The buffet thing left with COVID, man.
Yeah.
It said,
And-
no, fuck
And
that.
Ty, you're right. What I thought about when, just experiencing from our perspective, watching the Super Bowl live in Las Vegas, I thought about the after parties. Good God, man. How long did
Dude,
those go on? How long did-
unprecedented, right? Like
Good Lord.
that's what I mean. How expensive would it have been to be in Vegas? Or if you weren't a football fan and you just had booked it for that weekend, wouldn't you have been like, what in the fuck? Why are there so many people here?
Yeah.
Like, what's going
going on?
Yeah.
And
I got a
So
comment.
question,
I got a
how many
quick comment.
of us would be alive if we had went to Vegas for the Super Bowl and did cocktails and curveballs in Vegas? How many of us would have come out of there alive?
a week
I'm
to
thinking
recover.
at least
man.
half.
A week to
Oh yeah,
recover.
minimum week.
We wouldn't
Go
be
ahead,
here
Jimmy.
today.
Sorry, man.
We wouldn't be on this podcast today.
No,
Oh
sir.
hell no, not
Jim had
even
a
a
comment.
chance.
Jim, what were you going to say?
Well, you said earlier how, then you go at halftime and you get another plate and another
Sure.
beer. And so am I to hear this correctly where you started the game with a beer and you didn't get another one till halftime?
Oh, no. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
I'm saying
That's what it
halftime.
made it sound like. Oh yeah, then I'll go at halftime and get another
I mean,
beer.
I'm out getting another plate of food anyways. I might as well grab another sixer, right? I mean, that's kind of how that's how I
Okay,
was.
so again, so we were talking about the food and stuff for the Super Bowl. What were we all drinking? I mean, did you guys have like options, or did you just have a go-to?
No,
I
it was
got a
just
full liquor
go-to for
cabinet,
me.
man. Yeah, I got a full liquor cabinet. So I started with Big Lebowski's. I started with White Russians. I had 3 of them. Then I went to a little
Nice.
bit of Long Island iced tea, pre-made in a bottle, pretty tasty over ice. Yeah, I might have had a couple screwdrivers. I did have a tangerine Hefeweizen. Had one of those. Those are good. And yeah, I just drank whatever, whatever.
I
felt
got
like
a feeling. I got a feeling that Jimmy drank like 100 Mountains Are Blue through the course of that day. I mean, give or
Let's say
take
97.
10. I
I'm
mean,
gonna say like 97. Yeah, I'm
Well, there
not.
were-
give or take 10, man.
They were flowing without a doubt. They were flowing, but I kind of, I think I took it a little easy because I had meetings all morning, and the last thing you want to do, you guys know, man, sitting in meetings, being hungover.
Oh,
Fuck
and that's
that. It's not worth it.
if I may, that's the one thing you brought up hangover, Jim, and you're actually absolutely right. And I think anybody listening to our podcast that are, we're all 4 of us are except okay, 3 of us are kind of getting up there. Ty's
What?
I'm getting up there. I feel old.
Yeah. But my point is that once you hit like, I want to say 45, once you get past the age of 45, hangovers, I can only speak for myself, but I feel like there's a lot of people that would agree with me. So when I get hungover, half of my next week is shot, man. It's not just the next day. I mean, I feel like Wednesday I start getting color back in my cheeks. I mean, so hangovers. For me personally, I really have to pick the times I decide to tie one on because, good Lord, man, you get to an age where it's just not worth it. I don't give a
And
shit. if they win.
Are they ever gonna make the Super Bowl on a Saturday?
They should.
They fucking should.
Holy
Or
fuck,
Monday
right?
after the Super
Right?
Bowl should be a fucking national holiday.
Do it on
They either
Saturday.
need to move it to Saturday
Yeah.
or make Monday after the Super Bowl a
Absolutely.
fucking national holiday. Because
If
that's
I had a
bullshit.
dime,
Because
If I had a
this right
dime,
here, this is hair of the dog right here, bro. I mean,
Ugh.
I hit it hard yesterday and I went to work all damn day. And here I am. Oh, by the way, this is Enjoy the Ride, a hazy IPA from Red Law Jails, 6.5%. This is good stuff.
What
But
do you
no,
drink, Ty?
this is hair of the dog.
Ty, what do you got?
Probably my 100th Busch Light of the weekend.
Attaboy. How about you, Jim?
oh, went back to the Buckskins, boys.
Buckskins,
Nice.
nice. I'm the only one doing non-alcoholic. I just got off work, so I keeping it cool tonight. I'm drinking an orange Dreamsicle Rain energy drink. Pretty damn tasty. Ain't gonna lie.
I would
Should put
not
some
that-
drink
that-
I don't drink the whole thing. That's like 300 milligrams of caffeine.
I need it. I need it after yesterday, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's
I
a
was,
lot.
That
I
was
feel
my
like
morning. Every
I would've
morning
gotten
I
pulled
have a
over.
rain.
I feel like if I'd have gotten pulled over in my fuel truck at about 8:30 this morning, chances are might have been taking the keys and leaving in cuffs. So that's how that goes.
You'd have blown dirty. Well, and with the CDL, I mean, there's so much. It's so much harder for you guys.
And if any Montana DOT officials are watching this, I'm just fucking with you. I'm not being serious. So, anyways, so the Super Bowl, let's get into it. I mean, we don't need to analyze it because that's been done. But I mean, what did everybody think the Super Bowl went the way it should have? Or I mean, how do you feel about it, Ty?
You guys know how I feel, dude. Football was over for me 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
You know what I think? I think as a nation, we were hoping for a Baltimore Detroit Super Bowl. We got the Chiefs. We got the Chiefs and the 49ers. And then I think everybody decided that they were a 49er fan yesterday. That's how I feel. And
Yep,
Yeah.
I did.
and what's wild about that is like, why should Patrick Mahomes be villainized? But who gives it? He's undeniable. At this
He's-
point, he just played the villain and just went, well, okay, I got another one. So now
I
what?
know.
What do you do with the guy, right? Like, he's
have no-
won so much. People hate winners. That's the fucked up thing, is that people hate
the
winners.
same with Brady, right? I mean, Brady got the same
Same with
treatment.
anything. The evil empire in New York, right? For however long.
Yeah.
People just hate the Yankees. People hate the Lakers. People still hate the Cowboys, even though they haven't done anything in forever. But like, people just hate winners.
They
That's
do.
how it
And-
fucking goes,
and-
dude.
and-
And I rooted against them too. So like, I'm not
and
trying to
cons-
be a.
And not just winners, but a team that just continues to get it done. And the Chiefs fit that mold. Jim, let me ask you.
I
wanna
think
ask you-
I think it was the baggage, man. I think it's the baggage that came with the Chiefs. I
And
don't
they
think
still
it's
did it though. They
necessarily-
still did it. Is
You're
the
right.
thing.
You're
did it.
right. You're
Yeah.
right. No, I've given the Chiefs all the credit in the world, man, because
Patrick Mahomes, man.
they beat 3 teams in the playoffs, come from behind,
Yeah.
beat 3 teams in the playoff that not only was everybody hoping they wouldn't, but
Right.
but in a lot of ways were outplayed in those 3 games.
I mean, really,
Yeah.
and really, like beat them comfortably, right? I mean, none of those games. I mean, okay, so the Super Bowl was close, but they absolutely took Miami out behind the woodshed. Shocker, by the way.
Beat the
I-
Bills.
kinda-
Right. Beat the
they
Ravens.
they kind of thumped the Ravens in Baltimore. So I want to ask you, Jim, like maybe not right now, but at what point do we start maybe putting Mahomes in the air of a Tom Brady? Are we close?
Oh, I think it's
Right
already,
They're already
I-
doing
already
it
happening.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, he's, and heaven forbid. I mean, so there's no reason why I don't see the Chiefs dropping off a whole lot next year, right?
No, they're
If
gonna
they
get
didn't,
better.
if they didn't this year, then like, yeah, who are they gonna have to lose for them to not be in the AFC Championship game at
Right.
least, right? Like
Correct.
their roster, if Patrick Mahomes is standing back there playing quarterback, they're gonna be in the conversation every fucking year. And
You
it's
can't
like
root against the guy.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can't.
you can.
you
There's absolutely
can,
no
but
way.
you can, but he just showed that it doesn't matter.
I've
root against
I've
me
done
or root
it,
for
bro.
me.
I have rooted against that motherfucker, and he proves me wrong every time. Hey, you know what? Once we got into the overtime and the Niners only got a field goal, I'm like, oh, game over. Here we go. Watch Mahomes. And it's exactly that guy is so good. And as much as Pat, you are 1,000% correct. I hated Tom Brady. I think I hated how good the Patriots were more than I hated Tom Brady.
I don't
And
know.
I'm kind
It's-
of in the same boat though with Mahomes and the Chiefs. I'm tired of them always winning.
yeah.
I literally am. It's like, wait a minute, man. I mean, and then I look at these games and I'm like, well, why did the Niners not pound the ball? Why didn't they run constantly?
And
In the second half? Why did they do that?
Even the announcers called that out, Lee. I don't know if you guys heard it. I mean, I heard it loud and clear. I think everybody heard it. There was nine straight plays right after halftime where the Niners, they were all passing plays. They didn't run the ball one time. I want to ask you, Lee. So, in your opinion, 4th and 4 from the 6-yard line in overtime, if you're Kyle Shanahan, do you kick that field goal, or are you going for that? A touchdown wins the game, man. Touchdown wins the Super Bowl. What are you doing?
Knowing who's across from me, which is Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes and the entire Chiefs organization and how good they are, I'm rolling the dice, bro. I'm going for it.
Yeah,
I mean, and I was right there, but I know it's 6 yards. But I'm telling you right now, it's the Super Bowl, and you've already been there, and the Chiefs beat you the last time you were there.
But you could have
I'm
got a
rolling the
first
dice.
down. You could have got a first down at the 2, though, right?
Yeah, right.
You
That's
didn't
true.
have to
So I didn't
score
even
a
think about
Okay.
that. That's a great
Yeah.
point, Jim. I completely glazed over. They still had an opportunity to get a first down, but I just feel like you've got
Which makes me amplify what I said. In that
Yeah.
situation, I'm going for it, man. I mean, because a field goal, Mahomes, he's not going to lose. He's that quarterback.
Hey,
Yeah.
in kind of a lesser note, do you see that? Who was that quarterback that was the quarterback that started for the Bears so many years, and then he was backup for Pittsburgh? You know what I'm talking about.
It's
Trubisky.
Trubisky.
And so they just released.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Pittsburgh released him?
Yeah, Pittsburgh's waiting for Justin Fields because frickin' the Bears are taking Caleb Williams out of USC, and Pittsburgh, I think, is banking on trading for Justin Fields.
Jim, you're a Pittsburgh fan. Is that going down? Do you think that goes down?
That Pittsburgh doesn't have the capital to get Justin Fields. I honestly don't think they do. Without getting rid of one of their superstars. I mean,
Wait. So realistically speaking, what do you think you could get Justin Fields for? Can you throw him a second?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so because you're going after the number 1 pick.
but I think it's going to come down to the team. Listen, if there is nobody that is offering a huge king's ransom for Justin Fields, I see Pittsburgh sneaking right the fuck in there and finding a way to get it done. And it makes the most sense to me. It literally makes the most sense.
I don't think that they're gonna charge a king's ransom for Justin Fields. I think it's gonna depend. It's going to depend on what they get for the number 1 overall pick.
That's it.
If that makes sense, maybe they still do trade Justin Fields. If they move back only to somewhere in the top 10, still
Maybe move back to 3.
Right, exactly. Like, do they still go, okay, now we could get rid of Justin Fields for a 2 if we're still going to get Jaden Daniels from LSU.
But think about it. Even if they move back to number 3, they're still picking up a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
really, down to
Guaranteed.
three, you're still either getting May or Daniels.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, I mean, but that's not the prize of this draft. And I got to tell you guys, Caleb Williams, I just don't.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm
He's
really
not
not.
worth. He's not worth him having his association and being able to say where he wants to go, because that's what's happening right now. He doesn't want to be a Bear, and so that's
Yeah.
opened a lot of trade talks. I don't know, man. It's I don't think the Steelers will get Justin Fields. The Steelers will do something like they'll get a bridge quarterback, because next year's draft is going to be pretty good too.
Yeah.
Oh,
deep.
yes, it is.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to get a bridge quarterback, and who they're talking about right now. And it's almost disgusts me, because Art Rooney is saying, we're going to change this shit right now. I mean, he has been very vocal about, we're not doing this anymore. We're not finishing 9-8.
I got to be honest with you, and I side with Ty. I really don't think I could be wrong. There's possible I am wrong. I just don't think. I think you can have Fields for. I really believe that you can get Fields. I don't think you got to give up a first round pick for Fields.
I think
really
you
don't.
could get him for a second and a third. I
Yeah,
think you could get him for a second and a third.
Yeah,
I
that's-
think they have to wait until they see who wants the number one pick.
That's
I
right.
think
So
that's the first domino to fall, and
Sure.
then a Justin Fields trade.
Sure.
then you won't get him but if you're going to throw Justin Fields into that package to get the number one pick, you see what I'm saying? If he could take it could cost, it could be a king's ransom, because like Ty said, that domino's got to fall first.
Right. That's true. So Jim, if you say your team doesn't have the capital, if the Steelers, just hypothetically, just bear with me. If it costs the Steelers a second and third, are you pulling that trigger?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
For a second, third, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Justin
So-
Fields
so-
would be a perfect fit, actually, in Pittsburgh. And I know
I
Jimmy's a
think he
Pittsburgh
would
fan.
be with Tomlin.
I think he's a very underrated passer.
But-
I really do.
But on the
I-
backside, because end of the season, what he showed, he was proving everybody wrong, man. And then the Bears are still talking about, no, he's not our guy. And I get that. Now, if somehow the Chicago Bears could convince Caleb Williams, hey, no, this is a great place to be. We're going to build around you. If they could find a way to pick him one and move up potentially, because they have a lot of draft capital, and get Marvin Harrison Jr. to go along with Caleb Williams, would he change his tune and be like, okay, I'll be a Bear? I don't know. I mean, it's very possible, man.
What'd you guys think of the
there is
halftime show?
Oh, Usher, you know what? Usher was awesome only for one reason. He actually sang. It wasn't.
I forgot
it
how
wasn't
many
lip syncing
Usher
to
songs.
tracks.
I forgot how many Usher songs I
Isn't
knew.
it? Wasn't that correct? That's what. So I saw myself doing that too, going, he's got this song too.
Yeah, dude, he was here, and then I was like humming them too. I'm like, holy fuck, I know
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so
it
the
was
best
good.
part was Ludacris and Lil Jon. That
I
was
don't
the
know, man.
best
When
part.
Alicia Keys
Alicia
stepped out
Keys
there,
came out. Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool, because I hadn't heard her name. That she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
gonna be on
And
there.
so talented.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my-
wasn't it a little
Holy
freaky how
shit.
Usher was like doing like grinding on her and like touching her like
No.
crazy and shit? I
That's
mean,
not
you would
freaky,
do that,
dude.
Jim. You would
That's
do
not-
that as would I. But
That's
on
not
He's
national-
Usher.
That's fucking awesome.
He's
That's
Usher.
not- That's Alicia Keys.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is- that
Yeah,
That's
is-
not freaky.
And
Okay,
and
well,
if-
Usher
Freaky
can get
would be
away
if
with
he
it, but we
started
couldn't.
grinding up on Luda. That would be freaky.
Usher, there was a
That
Well,
would
time.
maybe
be
Luda
freaky.
swings that way. I mean, we
I
don't
mean,
know. Maybe Luda
there
swings
was
that
there was
way.
a time where Usher had out of the top 10, top 10 hits, he had like 5 of them at one
Oh, yeah.
time. I mean, there was a
Oh,
time
yeah.
where Usher he was the man.
I swear to God, man, I watched that thing, and the only thing that I hate, and I hate this to this day, these bands that go out and tour and they lip sync to tracks. They're singing
Oh,
to
yeah.
tracks. I
Yeah.
fucking
And they get
hate that, man. Yeah, and if I'm gonna spend 250, $300 on a ticket to see you play live, I don't need to see you lip sync to your CD. And the fact that Usher was actually singing live, that actually impressed me. And then when Little John came out and fucking Ludacris came out, I'm like, okay, I can get down with that. Now I
Hey,
know
so,
Jimmy's got a crush
commercials.
on Alicia Keys. Oh fuck yeah, the commercials. were
Commercials.
awesome.
What was your guys' favorite?
Oof.
Hit it. Okay, so I will tell you that the Schwarzenegger State Farm ones were
I was
great.
gonna say, yeah, those are pretty good. Yeah.
Those were
Dunkin'
great
Donuts. The Dunkin' Donuts, man.
yeah.
With Affleck
with Damon and
Matt Damon,
Affleck.
Tom Brady,
Yeah.
and J Lo. I thought that one was I thought that one was the best because if apparently, and I didn't know this, somebody was telling me, a guy that used to live in Boston was telling me that's where Dunkin' Donuts started. So that's why
Really?
they had all them Boston people.
Oh yeah.
Have you
Yeah, I
fact
think
checked
it is
that?
a Northeast thing.
Yeah.
Right
No,
on.
I haven't fact checked. I just taken the guy's word
No,
for it.
I think
because it's from
Dunkin' Donuts
Boston.
is. Yeah, I think it's from. Yeah, I think that's where it originated.
I don't know. I miss the frogs, but I miss the Budweiser frogs. I thought those were pretty awesome.
Dude, the
Yeah.
Budweiser, Clydesdales, those commercials.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, they're just not the same anymore. I guess
Oh,
I don't know. You can't say what you used to say and
Oh, yeah.
in
No, not at
commercials
all.
or imply what you
Yeah,
used
we've
to be
talked
able
about it.
to
The
imply.
world is so sensitive, man. Like you got to be, and people are losing their jobs for saying the wrong thing, and it's all out of fun, and it's different now.
It's a Super
You know
Bowl
what one?
commercial, man.
You know what Super Bowl commercial that really pops into my head from like years ago? And you guys will probably remember this. And this chick is an icon and rest in peace. She's passed away now. But the one where I believe it was a Snickers commercial. And it was Betty White on like a field playing football. And she's walking up and she's getting just destroyed, like laid out. And they're giving her shit. Like, you need to play. And then she takes a bite of a Snickers, right? And turns into the actual middle-aged person that she's supposed to be. That one was fucking huge. I laughed my ass off. So Betty White, that girl, I'll give her mad props.
How about
You
this?
know-
How far is the Super Bowl come? Because we're all football fans. Of
Oh, yeah,
course, we're
big
gonna
time.
watch the Super Bowl. There are people that go to Super Bowl parties that don't know fuck all about football, but it's a party, right? Like the
Right.
Super Bowl Sunday is
It's an
has
event.
dude. It's an event. Yeah, it's a whole it's a whole deal. It's not just like Game 7 of any Major League Baseball playoff series. We're all in on, right?
Oh yeah.
Because it's Game 7.
Oh, yeah.
Like it,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
you know, you
So-
don't have a party. You don't have a party. Most people don't have a Game 7 Major
No.
League Baseball fucking party or a Game
no,
7
no.
NBA
Super Bowl-
party.
Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday, man. You're right, Ty. It should like for not just, and this ain't just a new thing. Like for years, if I had a dime for every DUI that has been given out on Monday morning, guys going to
Wait,
work.
to you? To you?
No, not to me, but just think about it.
Okay, I was just asking for a friend.
How many DUIs have been handed
Oh,
out
man.
Monday morning right after Super Bowl Sunday? I mean,
Oh,
just
man.
imagine how many DUIs have been given, man. They should be. You shouldn't have to go to work after Super Bowl Sunday. You shouldn't. I mean, it's you're talking about
That's
commercials.
why the fucking NFL should move it to Saturday, bro, and then
Agreed.
everybody can quit bitching.
I agree. So the one commercial you were talking about, that Snickers commercial, and they should have ran this one back, especially for the team that's in the Super Bowl. I know Jim remembers this. That 90-year-old guy's in the end zone, and he's got his sprayer, and he's spray baiting the end zones, and it shows him working, and he's getting it done. It's red, and this guy comes running, big offensive lineman comes up, and he's watching him for a minute, and he says, "That's great, but who are the chefs?" And the guy looks, and instead of spray painting Chiefs, he's spray painted chefs. Great googly moogly. You're gonna be here for a while. Have a Snickers. I thought, man, that'd have been a great one to show in the Super Bowl, man. But that was.
Oh, you know what? The other one that I thought was cool was the one with Christopher Walken. Everybody has tried to replicate
Yeah.
that man's
Yeah.
his delivery and his speech. That one was pretty fucking cool because he's just like, yeah, no, that one was cool too. That was good stuff.
Does your mother know how to sew?
Oh yeah,
That's Joe Dirt, baby. Tell her to sew that.
yeah.
That's Joe Dirt.
Good. Yeah, that one. That was
That's
probably my
actually
favorite.
that's Joe Dirte. It's not Joe Dirt.
Oh,
It's
Joe,
Joe
yeah.
Dirte.
I put a
Don't
knee
church
on
it
the
up.
end, make it sound kind of cool. Yeah.
Don't church it up.
Exactly.
Oh, church it up.
No,
That's
church it
right.
up, Dirt.
Okay, so now we got, I mean, and I guarantee you we're gonna get into it because the mock drafts have been happening for fucking 2 months, but
Oh,
what are we guys thinking? I mean, so we got a lot of shit going down. I mean, next year, the Chiefs just gonna roll again. This is the first time that Mahomes has actually had to win road games to get to the Super Bowl. And he
you
did it.
know,
And he
but-
did it.
But you could it's arguable. I mean, you could honestly have a really good argument that the Chiefs are going to be better next year. Because why wouldn't they be? I mean, they're going to have a draft. They're going to have free agency.
I think they will be.
I mean,
I think they will
they're gonna
be.
They're just like Ty said. They're
So
I
are
think as good
So
as
are
they
the
were.
Chiefs? Are the Chiefs going to be the next Patriots? And I know all the comparisons with Mahomes
They
and Brady
already
and all that
already?
shit.
Yeah,
Are they
Thank
already?
you. Okay, so yes, they're already right there. I mean,
Yeah.
2 Super Bowls in a row. What? They've been there 4 out of the last 5, right?
They've been to 7 straight AFC championship games. Like
Yeah.
that's
Right. I mean,
And if they win the Super Bowl next year, that's 3 in a row. That's historical, man. That's history.
they're already historical in my opinion, but I mean, and you know what did piss me off though? And we didn't get on this, so I want Tyler's opinion on this one. When, on the side when Travis Kelce hadn't got a catch and he damn near knocked Andy Reid over. I mean, are you guys
Yeah.
cool with that? Because I thought that was
nobody liked that.
bullshit.
I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody liked that.
No.
You can call
That's
And like
bullshit. You don't
can
do that
be,
to a
he
coach.
can like he's Travis Kelce, and I know the whole Taylor Swift thing. Everybody knows that, but like Travis Kelce might go down as the best tight end of all time.
No, I don't.
Agreed.
I think
He's-
I don't,
I
He's
think
he's in the
okay,
conversation.
For yes, you could say yes or no or whatever, but he's right there.
Absolutely.
There's an argument to be made
Yep.
for
I
sure,
mean-
undoubtedly, right?
Oh, he's in the conversation right now.
Yeah,
would say
I
he's
would
a-
say
I bet
I
him
would
and
say-
Andrew. Yeah, that whole thing was. I didn't like it. That was the original question. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
No, I didn't like it.
But I mean, like that's just from the outsiders looking in.
Well,
In their
it's-
locker room, were they like, okay, yeah, maybe that was too much, but who gives a fuck? We won. We're the Super Bowl champions again.
Well, and especially with me personally, and I think a lot of people feel this way. It is matter as bad as you might dislike the Chiefs. Like the one person that I was happy for is Andy Reid, man, because Andy Reid is a class act. He's a good coach. He deserves it. Years he spent getting to the big game, couldn't win the big game in Green Bay, and so he comes to Kansas City, and he
Philadelphia too. Philly,
Philly,
right?
man,
Like,
Philly.
yeah.
and he, so good to see Andy Reid be as successful, and he's a class act, man. He's his post game reports, he always gives it up to the other opponent, super classy. So the one person I was happy for was Andy Reid. See, you don't want to see a football player in his prime come up and give somebody like that a bunch of shit. I mean, come on, man, be better. I don't know. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it. It was a bad look.
Yeah.
And this has nothing to do with anything. I think Travis Kelce, I think right now he is right there on the Mount Rushmore.
Or tight ends.
And so, I mean, he's great. We all know he's great. How that big son bitch could get open as much as he does, get it figured out, but I just thought it in a heat of battle, he's not supposed to be the one doing that shit.
Right.
And you can
Thank
call it
you.
competitive. You can call it competitive. You can call it, he just wants to win and this and that. That's fine. But I've just always looked at Travis Kelce as more of a leader than
Yeah.
to than to do something like that. And it just didn't look good to me. Again, I'm with Ty. We don't know what the locker room thinks. Maybe that's just maybe we don't see the practices. Maybe he's that way in practices.
Sure.
You know, we don't know. But for him, I thought it was a little excessive how hard he bumped Andy Reid. And if Andy Reid wouldn't have been 320 or whatever pounds
He'd have
himself,
launched him.
yeah.
If Travis Kelce would have bumped any of us like that, dude, our asses would have been on the fucking turf.
Now, did I hear that right? Is Travis Kelce? Did he say this is his last year that he's retiring? Did I hear that? Did anybody else hear that?
Listen, Travis
So
wants to be
I had
an
heard that
actor.
it was because Jason Kelce is also going to retire.
Sure.
And I heard something about like how cool would it be for those two dudes who
I thought I
have
heard
gone
Travis wasn't-
everywhere together to retire the same year. Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce would be both first ballot Hall of Famers if they both
guaranteed.
retired this
Yep.
year. And
Yep.
5
They go
years
in the
from
same
now,
year.
and they went in on the same class, that would be fucking cool.
That would be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Well, hey, the way Jason Kelce is, and I will, and this is something that is going to make me throw up in my mouth a little bit. I'm going to give it up to fucking the Swifty gal that was in the box. There was some times they showed her that she was drinking like Jason Kelce. Like they had her slamming an entire cocktail. I'm like, all right, Taylor. You
Did
rolling
you guys
with the
see
right crew
Blake
now.
Lively? Did you guys
Oh,
see
yeah.
Blake Lively
Yeah.
up in that press box? Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. How? To be what's come on, help me out. Deadpool.
Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan
Blake,
Reynolds,
yeah.
man. Like, how good is life to wake up in the morning and that is like we'll just kinda
Well,
keep-
And on
that,
top of
and
that
also, you look like Ryan Reynolds. That's a pretty
yeah,
good
well, there's
wake up.
that. There's
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess,
and then just
when you-
as
yeah. When you
Now,
when
correct
you
me
look
if
like
I'm
Ryan
wrong. Isn't
Reynolds,
there
it
going to
just-
be another Deadpool? Wasn't there a trailer in the Super Bowl
There
for
is,
a new
yeah,
Deadpool
yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, dude! I'm all about that shit. I love Deadpool.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is a pretty cool character. I guess when you're Ryan Reynolds, you can hook that up. I mean, that's what that's cool.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. So Ty, how long did those after hour parties go? Are we talking sun's up, high noon, and still going
They're
strong?
still going.
Still going, probably.
bro.
After
Yeah.
hours, man.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I can't imagine, like, whatever city, because it's a city at this point. Like, it's a giant city that the Super Bowl goes to.
Sure.
I can't imagine the amount of money that was at this Super Bowl, at this
Okay.
town, at
Billion.
this city.
Billion
It had,
with a B.
it had to have absolutely crushed everything, because people were going there just to say they were there, right? Like people were spending money not on tickets, just to be a part of the whole Las Vegas thing. You know?
So am I a little out of hand if I were to come out and say that at these after hour parties, there's a lot more stronger stuff than alcohol going around, or is that just me, dude? Is that just how I
I think
feel?
these guys, my personal opinion is that they deserve it. The end of the season, I don't know, dude. Like, these guys there's a reason they make as much money as they do. And like, they are the absolute best of the best.
No, I mean, it's good Lord, man. I
I
can't
couldn't
even
imagine. I couldn't imagine what it would take for 8 months out of the year to be so laser focused,
Yeah.
no matter
And in
how your
shape.
team's doing. Yeah.
Dedication. I mean, these guys, 270-pound dude, and he's got 3% body fat. I mean, these guys, they put in the work. I mean, it's 100% dedication. We've talked about it before. Less than 1% of all college athletes make it to the next level.
Well,
Dude,
let's look at it another way. These guys are celebrities, so
Yeah.
they're partying with rock stars, with their favorite rap stars, with their favorite movie stars, and shit like that. So you know what? And I'm with Ty again. They deserve it, man.
Absolutely.
you have just taken your body to the whipping shed. You've just taken it out back and kicked its ass for
Mhm.
8 months.
8 months. Yes, sir.
And it's time to take, and I don't know how much time these guys, I can't imagine they take more than like, 3 weeks, a month off just and not do anything
Right.
but heal, and then they're right back in rehabbing
and
all the
diet.
leg injuries. And
Diet, like you got to be careful with the food you put in your body. I mean, these guys are, yeah, it's just all dedication. It's the food they, everything they consume. It's nonstop gym, exercise, watching film, and so yeah, man, you go out and win the big game. Boy, that was one hell of a party. I can probably. You're right, Ty. That shit might still be going on, right? I mean,
oh, it
just,
is
yeah,
absolutely.
And if it
yeah.
isn't by the players who have, I bet their teams, I bet the Chiefs and the 49ers both were like, at this point, they were like, no, you motherfuckers got to get out of Las Vegas. But I bet
That's
I
true.
bet the actual party is still
still-
lingering.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck yes, it is, and we should have been there, but we didn't. Because that's okay, because we have jobs and shit. But whatever,
Yeah.
we
Because-
should have been there. We would
because I
still
never-
be.
I never got to plant that C note tree out in the back of my yard. So there's that.
Yeah.
It's okay. It'll happen, Pat.
Yeah,
Have
well,
faith.
yeah, I have my doubts. Let's maybe get to some curtain calls to wrap up the show. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and I think one that I think we'll all agree on right off the bat, and you guys want to piggyback.
Jimmy's gonna steal my curtain call. I'm waiting for it, man, because I
No, man,
guarantee you it's the same.
Toby Keith. Toby Keith.
Yep, and yep.
Sure.
That was it.
For a lot of these younger people, they don't remember how our country, in 9/11 and what our country went through, and how we all came together, and where we've come from there. But Toby Keith was that guy, that you turned on the radio and you had, the red, white, and blue, or you had American Soldier and stuff, and it just made you kind of stand up, made you puff your chest out a little bit more, hold your head a little higher, to be an American and to be able to overcome what we went through on 9/11. That's the first thing on American soil outside of our own Civil War that had really been significant on our soil. So yeah, Toby Keith. But let me give another one, guys. The 2004 Hall of Fame just came out. Obviously Super Bowl weekend. This is usually, or Pro Bowl weekend, whatever, is usually when it came out. But two guys on there, and they came on the senior side of it, and that's Randy Gradishar and Steve McMichael, Mongo. And
God damn it, you're stealing everything that I got, because Mongo McMichael is a badass dude. And
Randy
he was in the
Gradishar.
WWF, WCW, WWE. He was part of the NWO. So Mongo, yes, dude, I love this.
But
So I'm gonna give you a ditto.
Randy Gradishar was one of the most underrated linebackers to ever play in the NFL. That guy was an absolute beast, man. And he was part of that Orange Crush defense. McMichael, he was part of the 85 Bears defense. Very well deserved. And so I'd like to cheer them guys. That's B, C, D, whatever after Toby Keith. Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Absolutely. That's a good one. That's a good one. Ty, what do you got?
PCD.
I was gonna shout out the NFL for just being on top of it, all other sports all year round. This is the lull right now after the Super Bowl, the lull until spring training starts.
Yep.
But the NFL does the combine, everything that leads up to the combine. We all read it every day.
Sure.
Like, I hope my team drafts this guy. I hope
40
and
times.
then it goes from the combine to the draft, and then by the time the draft is done and you're done gushing about your team's draft, now it's preseason. Now the season starts again,
But
and
wait,
I
you
think
got
that
free
that's
agency.
really, really interesting.
You got free agency. That's in there too. That's big.
Exactly, that's what I mean. And free agency is the entire time. So
Yes,
like
sir.
the NFL rules the sports landscape, right? Like
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
1000%.
Really exciting. Yep. How about you, Lee? What do you got?
Okay, so number one, I'm gonna do a double ditto on Jimmy because those two were in my brain. But my curtain call is going to be to this panel right here. Jim, Pat, and Ty, these gentlemen sit next to me, not next to me, but around me, for actually putting it in my brain that I needed to watch the flag football game of the Pro Bowl. I did. And the funny thing is I hated it. I mean, from way back, because the Pro Bowl game was a joke. Nobody played defense. It was just whatever. But when I watched it, I was actually floored. It looked like a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds on the field, just having a blast.
Yeah. I
So
liked it.
as much as I was against it, dude, all you guys convinced me that I should watch it, and it was great. So I'm gonna give it off to you guys right here, Cocktails and Curveballs, for letting me get educated enough to watch the fucking flag football game. It was actually awesome. So cheers to you guys.
Yeah. Cheers. That's a good one. I'm going to echo Toby Keith. I've been a fan for a long time. Heaven got an angel, man. A guy had an elevator upstairs. He, stood for his country, loved just like Jim said, you can pull up clip after clip after clip of him singing for the troops and doing something for the country and wrapped in an American flag. And so it was sad to see him go. It was even more sad to, I don't know if you guys caught that live concert with him. His last live concert in September of this past year, where he sang "Don't Let the Old Man In." Anybody who hasn't heard that song, I tell you what, you want to hear a tearjerker, man. They panned to his wife in the audience, and she had tears in her eyes. And I mean, you can't, if you got a heart, you couldn't help but to get choked up a little bit. So really sad to see him go. Absolute amazing individual. Rest in peace, Toby Keith. And as much as I hate to do this, man, my other curtain call. We give it up to the Chiefs, man. I don't like them, and for the same reason we all mentioned on this panel tonight. But man, here's a team that many didn't think had much momentum going into the playoffs. I mean, this is a team that lost to the Jets during the season. There's times during the season where they didn't look good at all, both defense and offense. But I tell you, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid get in the playoffs, and they just hit another gear, man. And
It's true.
They did it again, back-to-back champs. You can hate them all you want to, but you can't help but to appreciate how great they are. So, cheers to the Chiefs for doing it again. They're going to be tough again this next season. We'll see how that plays out. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on Cocktails and Curveballs. Feel free to leave us a comment. You can catch us on Spotify, Cocktails and Curveballs. You can also catch us on Gmail, and we're on YouTube. So thanks for joining us, and cheers to this whole panel for having a good show tonight.
Cheers.
We'll catch you next time.
Right on.
Cheers.
Cheers.